That is definitely a tricky thing to kind of figure out when you're first beginning. You want to buy some stuff, you know that you got a pretty decent amount of money, five, $6,000, with probably some time in. Maybe you have a credit card for 3, 4 years. You pay it off frequently, and every year you notice the bank continues to give you a little bit more than they did last year. So you kind of get kind of excited because they trust you with money. But at the end of the day, that's still a trap because that's the test. How much money can we give you until you start getting a little bit greedy, until you get a little bit out of your lifestyle or comfort zone of your spending habits? And these are some things nobody tells you about debt because once you continue to grow that relationship with the bank, at some point, they're going to know, yeah, we know you can pay. Want to give you more. But let's see if your habits change. Let's see if you start making mistakes. And I would say that happens a lot to us. I would say it happened to me. During 2020, when the pandemic hit, there was a bunch of opportunity happening. You got a stimulus check, no debt, it's going to college, and they locked everything down in California. And I hated that. I wanted out. And the talk around the town was Florida and Texas were fully open. You didn't need to get vaccinated or anything like that. And so that was something I wanted. I wanted to be out of California with a place that gives me opportunity to do whatever I want without being closed down or can't go to the shop or something like that. Or, just that freedom that we normally would have. And so ended up going to Florida and Texas. Granted, the first time I left and I went to Florida, I stayed with my cousin, so I saved some money and sure I did spend some. However, when I got to Texas, that was a game changer. You're buying tools, you know, be creative, you're buying tech, you're buying furniture, you're doing the whole 9 yards. But, that comes with a cost when you're traveling around and you're just using debt to kind of support you. Then, having first a stable job to support you and going a little bit more below your means because I ended up getting like a $900 apartment. I could have went down to 700. And yeah, the place wouldn't be ideal, but when you're young, nothing's really going on. You're just working. It's not a problem, you right? So I ended up doing that, getting the job, 2 jobs actually, working, and things were working out good. Things were working out good for me. And I started running up that credit card. And with that being said, that credit card, which was on my Chase, the Freedom card, it just kept going up and it helped pay for the bills and stuff like that. So I could keep up easily. I probably had around like $6,000 in there. And so I would use that to kind of help with the rent and stuff like that. But it's not ideal. You want to have a full-time job or 1 or 2 jobs to help you pay off your cost of living and do stuff because we know that if you don't do stuff right, then you're going to end up making more mistakes. Have a hobby, have people you go out with, know the places to go out to if you want to have a good time, but to do it for cheap, happy hour and things like that. Great ideas. But you just make too many mistakes when you don't have the experience, and that's why you gotta watch out, man. You want to live below your means and do things that help keep the money in your pocket. Because especially nowadays, you can't really do what we did back in 2020 and 2021, right? Because I think when 2022 or 2023 came around, it was harder to make moves, harder to take a risk. But nowadays, if everything's tight. We got high inflation, higher cost of living. Supposedly prices are going down, but it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't feel like it. Everybody's, running around, especially in a place like where I'm at now, California. not really the best place to experiment with things and give you leeway because over here they're just trying to tax you as much as possible. Definitely would say, if you have the chance, escape to a different state. Yeah, I know they're gonna say the grass is green on the other side, but there's more benefits to a place like Texas to have majority of the companies now and have access to so many things. Sure, if you try to work for the government, it won't be great government, pay, but your stability. In addition, California does have better paying government jobs. However, everything else around it sucks, right? So, you know, you just want to keep in mind that debt is something that's going to hold you back. Is going to take away from you. And the piece of not knowing that somebody won't come and get your stuff is an issue. Like right now, I was looking at some YouTube videos, and this guy was just repoing people's cars left to right, brand new cars. And the crazy part, these were simple looking cars, Hondas and stuff like that. But I guess whenever these people bought the car, it was just too pricey, too pricey at least for them. And they wanted the newer car rather than getting an older car. And even these older cars now are super expensive. So just be aware, man. Keep your current car if it's fully paid off, and if you do get a car, make sure those payments are minimal so you can pay them off and enjoy your life. No one should be stuck in a house, you know, not being able to do something. Or if you like being a homebody, you should be able to get into some hobbies that you can afford and just enjoy doing those things. And I don't know where we went wrong in the economy, but man, it's tough out there. So just remember that debt is going to hold you guys back. And if you do try to make moves, you're going to be very careful in making the moves you want to make because if you overextend yourself and your job can't pay for the things that you want to do, you're going to be stuck. And debt is just going to put you in more of a problem. You don't want that. You want less problems. So have a budget, have a plan, have something written down, and that you can continuously, I want to say, be consistent with. And that's the key. Some type of consistency, and a game plan that you can follow. And it's something that you can easily follow. Anything that's going to be really hard to deal with, I would say don't do it. Do something that's going to be reasonable. Do something that's going to give you, you know, some type of happiness, but stay away from things that are going to overexert yourself and going to put you in massive amount of debt or just, limit the type of debt, right? Because you get credit cards, well, we already know you're going to be in around 25% back to the credit cards. Get a car, they're going to charge you 16% depending on your credit score. And you just want to watch out for those things, man. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I hope you like this. Again, this is your boy Am. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.